Hello everybody and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall, where we are going to go on this mission. Yeah, Glory's decked out with a bunch of med kits, but we still wanted to buy more anyway. Yep, let's go. Let's take this mission on the road. See if we can stop this cult. Because we don't like cults. Firestone. The drive from the Cruise Bazaar to the Schoenbook Forest was a long one. For over 6 hours, you and Glory rode in relative silence, with only the sounds of the road for company. Now you find yourself crouching in the woods, watching, waiting. Off in the distance, the rustic exterior of Firestone looks curiously warm and inviting, but you know what's waiting inside. The anticipation churns at your guts like a living thing. Eventually, the van pulls out of the compound's driveway and rolls out along the service road before disappearing from view. Glory gives you a nod and begins to scramble forward. Harrow's left the building. It's time for you to make your way inside. Hey, let's go. We are already decked out and everything we want. Though we can give her some stuff. She's probably not decked out for grenade launchers either. But, you know, we'll give her a trauma kit as well. No harm in giving her something that we're not going to equip. Karma available. I have 5 karma. What are you talking about? No. The weathered edifice of Firestone looms above you, dark and sinister in the chill night air. Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting. In the back of your mind, insidious voices whisper that you could stay here forever. Do you feel it? The lure of this place? Glory gestures with a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yep. I feel it, but that doesn't change what we have to do. No, it doesn't. She looks at you. Her eyes are dark. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet but steady. You're going to see some terrible things in this place, Kira. Firestone exists to prey on the young, and we're going to have to come to face with that. Are you sure you're prepared for this? I mean, when you say the young, how young do you mean? I don't even know what we're walking into. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. She studies your face for a moment longer and looks away. Good. You want to compare notes, make sure we're both on the same page? She nods. We take Harrow out of commission. You were right when you said that we couldn't afford to let him live. Even if we completely destroyed this place, it'd be all for nothing if he got away. He'd just start another cult somewhere else. Any suggestion as to how we should approach this? We're gonna take out the shrine that Harrow uses as his power focus. We can't touch him while that thing is standing, but after we bring it down, he'll be vulnerable. Tell me more about the shrine. It's a lump of rock about as tall as I am, inscribed with runes and encrusted with bone. The shrine's power comes from an entity that Harrow bound into the stone, something very old and very dangerous. A toxic spirit. In many ways, it's the heart of this place. We can't touch Harrow while the shrine is intact. If we try, he'll siphon enough power from it to slaughter us where we stand. But if we confront the shrine and kill the spirit, the astral backlash from its death will cripple him. All we'll have to do is finish him off. Few more details. If you have any questions, it'd be best if you ask them now. Then what? Take it out with explosives? Breaking the rock won't work. We'll have to take on the spirit directly, track it to where it lives, and kill it. She pats the satchel that hangs from her shoulder. I've brought what we'll need to do that. I can't tell you exactly how this is going to go down, Kira. The spirit itself will have a good deal of control over that. But you'd better prepare for yourself, because I think this is going to be one hell of a fight. What about the other cultists? We'll save any that we can, but the energy released when the spirit dies will hurt them too. Anyone whose mind it touched will take a hit. Does that mean the backlash will hit us too? You've only just arrived. The spirit hasn't had a chance to worm its way into your aura yet. You might black out for a minute or two, but otherwise you should be fine. As for me, well, like I said, this place can't touch me anymore. I'll take your word for it. Is there anything else, or should we get started? If this shrine is so important, why didn't you mention it earlier? When I lived here, Harrow barely used the thing. To be honest, I think he was afraid of it. Back before I ran away, Firestone was nothing more than a cult of personality that revolved around Harrow. He didn't need magical help to keep us here. We loved him, and we believed in his message. He created the shrine as an insurance policy. You think something has changed, and he started abusing the shrine's power. I think that my escape was the cause for that change. I know Harrow. When I ran, I bruised his ego. His charisma and charm had failed him, and my disappearance rubbed his nose in that failure. He wouldn't be willing to chance something like that happening again, not when he had the means to prevent it. So, they're like puppets? The shrine controls them? Not exactly. It's more insidious than that. Think of the shrine's influence as a drug. It lowers your inhibitions, makes you compliant. If you were to stay here for a couple of days, you'd fall in love with this place, and you wouldn't even know why. All of Harrow's bullshit would start to make sense. You'd be happy. In essence, all of the cultists here are addicted to this place. That makes them a threat, yes, but it also makes them victims. Let's get moving. I'm with you. Let's do it. Okay. So we are on our way. I like the little neon cord on that building off to the left. Enter. Hi, guys. Hello, fellow children. We are not here to bring down your cult. Would you mind showing us the way to the inner sanctum so that I might become brainwashed like you? Is there anybody here? Hi, guys. Anyone? You can hear a distant murmuring sound coming from inside the room. Voices, 3, maybe 4 people, all talking amongst themselves. Can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sounds desperate. You've heard the tone before. It's the sound of a man pleading for his life. We should keep moving. Whatever's going on in there, we don't want to get involved. Sounds like somebody's in trouble. I don't doubt it, but we're here to kill Harrow, not the people he's brainwashed. After we've taken down the shrine, the cultists in there will be hurt, disoriented. We can deal with them then. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're gonna end up letting... I want to explore, like, because that's the way that I like doing things, is exploring before finishing up. But, ooh. Okay, so some of these doors do have... Give us your medkits. Medkits? Medkits? Yes. Anything in here? No, 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 no. I guess, I wonder if all the rest of these doors are, This is the Initiate's dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids, Kira. Harrow hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We'll try to get them out of here. Gloria raises a hand, suddenly alert. Wait, listen. Movement in the other room. You strain your ears to listen. Soft voices from inside the room come drifting out of a nearby vent. You hear a woman's voice. The sound is crisp and smooth and sweet, and it instantly puts you at ease. Calm now, dear. It's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. We're so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see Gloria's back stiffen. She flinches as though she's been stung. Another voice, high-pitched and pleading, an adolescent boy. But what if it is someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here and they've come to... The female voice cuts in, soft and comforting. Well then, we'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Harrow won't let anyone hurt you. Not here, in this place. Not ever again. You hear another boy's voice. This one's deeper. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta? She gives a curt nod. Not mine. Harrow's. But she's the Marta from my story, yes. What do you want to do? Gloria pauses, grits her teeth. Finally, she spits out an answer. I don't know. If she's still here, she'll be Harrow's #1, my old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. Part of me wants to kill her. She's the reason why a lot of kids wound up here, including me. She grits her teeth, and the razors flick out of her fingertips. A second later, she retracts them. But there isn't time. This isn't what we're here for. If what you were saying is true, we can deal with Marta later. Marta's voice floats back out through the vent. Hush now, boys, and get some rest. You've got a big day tomorrow, the biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Harrow. I promise you, after you speak with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way. A better way. The adolescent voice trembles out of response. All right, Marta. Have a good night. A lovely musical laugh pours through the vent. Sorry. You too, dear heart. All of you. You hear the distant sound of a door sliding shut. Let's go, Kira. We need to deal with that shrine. Do we want to click on the rest of the doors, or do we want to just go? Because I have a feeling there's going to be combat behind at least one of these, and that's maybe not something we should get involved in. Oh, geez, in yet. As you open the refrigerator door, a whiff of ammonia sticks in your nostrils. Watery light glints off of the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labeled. It's hard to tell through the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. You pop the lid off a container to take a closer look. First thing that hits you is the smell. The meat in here is beyond rancid. White mold frosts the sides of the bin, and it's all you can do to keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognize a familiar shape in the rotten meat, a mangled human hand. Is that what I think it is? Glory's voice is flat. Ritual supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Harrow teaches all of the initiates how to do it, how to harvest the meat, how to store it, how to label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. By the end, it doesn't even bother you anymore. Yeah, I get the picture. I warned you to see a thing you didn't want. Let me try that again. I warned you that you'd see things you didn't want to in here. We're lying. That was tasty. I mean, well then. Hey, a terminal. Wonder if we can jack in. Hey, this appears to be a standard terminal. Login prompt close on the screen. Hack the terminal. Looks as though the terminal is used exclusively for financial transactions. After a bit of digging, you find a list of payoffs to local law enforcement, paid by Harrow, no doubt, to ensure that the police look the other way. Okay, cool. Not that we have another mission. Ostentatiously large tome sits cradled on this pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been expertly stitched. A steel plate running along the book's spine anchors it to the pedestal. Glory stares down at it, frowning. Harrow's manifesto. The handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile and came away convinced he was a genius. She leaves through the pages with an articulated finger. Looks like he's expanded it over the last few years. It's at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here. Maybe there's something there I wouldn't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Harrow's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There were dangerous things near Kira. Sick things. I was never allowed in this room without Harrow. Nobody was. He said it was for our safety, and I think he was telling the truth. I feel uneasy being in here. I don't want to stay any longer than we have to. Can we handle if like I wonder, would an alarm go off and then suddenly we have security all over the place? Or because if it's just like a spirit come out of the ground, I figure we can take it, but we should learn what we can. Alright, I'll watch your back, but try to be quick. Try to be quick. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Flip through the early pages of the manifesto, but find what looks to be a good place to jump in, start to read. When I first set out on the path to free living, I realized that I'd have to rethink all of my earlier assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs, and I'd need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was also necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. After all, if you can't learn to be free from a book, you can't learn. The answers won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or a code of conduct. If you don't learn that, you'll never break your chains. The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his or her own. What makes life worth living? What in life is truly valuable, and what is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly, agonizingly, I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstones of my new philosophy and the basis for everything that Fjordstel stands for. Love, the first cornerstone, and the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Love what you do. Love the people around you. But above all, love yourself. Self-determination, the second cornerstone. Each of us must be his or her own shepherd. No more gods and no more kings. Your life is your own. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being, and it must be met with an equally ferocious response. Charity, the third cornerstone. A miserly life is an empty life. If each of us is his or her own master, then nobody should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Passion, the final cornerstone. Complacency is poison. Be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be. You hear a rustling sound behind you. Glory, turning, you can see a troubled look on her face. That ominous feeling is getting stronger, Kira. It feels like we're being watched. Okay, let's go. I don't want to... We can handle it, but you know what? We're wasting time, so let's go. Not that I don't have all the... Okay. The doorway shimmers with a faint red light. As you approach the door, you can feel a squirming sensation in the back of your skull. Your limbs begin to tingle, then feel heavy. The closer you get to the doorway, the more of a struggle it is to continue moving forward. It feels as though the strength is being siphoned from your body. As you step away from the door, the crawling sensation gradually recedes. Glory stares into the light, frowning. The shrine room is through here, but this barrier wasn't here before. Harrow must have warded the doorway after I ran. Fantastic. Now what? The ward is like a lock. There must be a key. Grimace crosses her face, and I know who has it. There's only one person here that Harrow would offer it to. Marta. She nods. Looks like we're going to have to confront her after all. Razors flick out of her fingers. Let's go. I mean, if I had one more karma... Actually, no, my willpower is not good, is it? My willpower is real trash, actually. So, whoops. I did not level that. Like, at all. Alright, well, let's go. Guess we're going to... I wonder if we can check the other doors now. That'll be... Well, let's check this one. You hear a voice speaking low tones through the wood of the door. You can't make out the words, but regular choruses of rough laughter tell you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves. Those voices belong to Harrow's acolytes. They'll have some magical training, and they like hurting people. You open that door, and we're going to have a fight on our hands. How do you know they're acolytes? Process of elimination. Initiates aren't allowed in that room. It's one of Harrow's rules. On the rare occasion that an initiate is invited in, he usually doesn't come back out again. Her mouth tightens. It's a sort of lounge for Harrow's inner circle. The acolytes and the bait girls and Harrow's wives. Marta and I used to spend a lot of time in there. Let's keep moving. We're not interested in getting into huge tussles just yet. Hey, what do we have here? Glory pauses at the side of the van. She traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Tübingen, looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Marta and the others like her, would offer them money or food or drugs or sex, whatever it took to get them into the van. And once they piled in, Harrow and I would be waiting to greet them. I remember so many nights like that. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. Most runners that I know wouldn't have done what you're doing tonight. Left to my own devices, I probably wouldn't have. You pushed me to do this, to find some semblance of redemption. I owe you for that. You're right, you do. You don't owe me anything. She shrugs. Tell yourself whatever you like. We both know the truth. Come on, let's keep moving. I like those motorcycles there. It's like the bat cycle. Okay. Well, guess where we're going. Only sound of moving air. Open the door. Hi, guys. Oh, boy. Are they gonna... oh. They're gonna alert everybody. Okay, hi. Yeah. The initiate closest to the door whips his head up to look at you. He takes a stutter step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that. Glory looks deep into the initiate's eyes, transfixing him. We're not here to hurt you. Oh, why don't I have street etiquette? I should have gotten street etiquette. I don't have the... I wish I had one more karma. Literally one more karma, and I would have been able to do it. Don't bother calling Marta out here. We're just going in there to have a... We're friends of Harrow's. The initiate eyes you nervously. His gaze flits to Glory and falls to her cyber limbs. He swallows. Yeah, okay. He takes a step back. You do that. Let's take another save. Case in point for those who were paying close attention to when the last recording was, last time I saved during a recording. That's how long it's been since I've played this game. Let's talk to her. The initiate by the door is staring at Glory's limbs, her eyes wide. She's a mousy little thing, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 17 years old, with purple contact lenses and a shock of blue hair. She glances up at Glory, blinking. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your picture before. Glory's expression remains neutral. Really? I think so. I didn't look at it long. It was in a room that I wasn't supposed to be in, but I'm sure that it was you. It probably was. You're right. I did live here a long time ago. I was like you back then. A scared kid brought here by Marta for a chance at a new life. I like Marta. She's so nice. I always feel safe when I'm with her. Most adults aren't like that. They either don't notice you or they do for the wrong reasons. But Marta, she cares about us. There's a long pause and the initiate looks up to you. Screwing up her courage, she speaks. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. I overheard Marta talking with Mr. Harrow yesterday. I think they were talking about our meeting with him. The one that Marta was just telling us about, where we'll learn to see the world in a different way. I couldn't really hear the whole conversation. It was all muffled, but what I could hear was kind of weird. Mr. Harrow said some stuff about a shrine, and then it sounded like he changed the subject, because he started talking about dinner, or something about chopping up meat. Well, Marta got real upset, said they're too new, they're not ready, make the older ones do it. Stuff like that, but then Mr. Harrow said some other things, and then she calmed down again. When she left, she was smiling. So I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I want to make sure that March is okay, but I can't ask her about it, because I don't want her to find out I was eavesdropping. Have you ever opened the fridge in the other room? No. Why? Is that where we're going to make dinner? Glory cuts in. Her voice is gentle. I wouldn't worry about that. We'll make sure that Marta is okay. Alright, but don't tell her that I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. How long have you been here, by the way? Almost a week. She shuffles her feet. Eventually, she looks up with a small smile. It's wonderful. Of course it is. So much nicer than living on the street, isn't it? Glory's face is kind, but her tone is one of incredible sorrow. You be good, sweetie. Don't you worry. We'll take care of Marta. The girl smiles sheepishly and steps back. As you pass by her on your way to the door, Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. It's like I thought. Things have changed in the past few years. Back when I lived here, Harrow would never have let such a fresh convert prepare a sacrifice. He'd wait until she was in so deep, until she felt so indebted to him that she couldn't turn tail and run. It was a rule. You let newcomers get settled for a month, maybe two, before teaching them the more unsavory aspects of cult life. Even then, you'd start them off slow. Their first lessons would use pork or chicken, never human meat. That didn't come until much later. Indoctrinating a new recruit after a week is risky as hell. He never would have done it when I lived here. Shrine. He's using it to brainwash the initiates faster. That's what I'm thinking. Harrow's getting lazy, letting his captive spirit do the heavy lifting for him. I'm still working on that, but I don't think that the shrine is just a tool for Harrow anymore. I think he relies on it. He's using it as a crutch. She cocks her head slightly, a thoughtful expression on her face. I think he's let himself become dependent on the damn thing. We won't let that happen. She nods, a fierce look in her eye. On that, we are agreed. Let's go see Marta! Marta's just on the other side of this door. However this goes, we're going to have to move quickly afterward. If she dies, Harrow will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that? Let's go. Hi. Hi. The woman in the room is lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine elvish features, and a tumble of fire-red hair spills down over her shoulders. Beyond her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Harrow used to draw her and so many others to Firestone. She looks up with a start at the sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at the sight of Glory. As she takes in her cyberware, her mouth falls open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. Glory's voice is cold. It's been a long time. It has. Marta swallows. The horrified look hasn't left her face. Glory, what have you done to yourself? What I had to do. I got out, Marta. This was the only way. Oh, Glory. All at once, the horror on Marta's face is replaced with an expression of profound sorrow. I'm so sorry. Marta steps forward, her arms extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws into a defensive posture. Her voice frosts over with cold rage. Don't you touch me. You're one of Harrow's creatures. You always were. Marta stops short. One of his creatures? Glory, what are you talking about? We'll take the telltale route. Sometimes saying nothing is the best option. You know as well as I do. You worship that monster. You seduced me into coming here so that I would worship him. If you hadn't found me, if you hadn't baited me, none of this would have happened. None of what? I haven't done anything. If you just left me where you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship, and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you. She looks genuinely hurt. Harrow and I rescued you from a life on the street. A beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in the gutter. I pulled you away from all of that. I saved you. There's a long pause. Glory stares into Marta's eyes, her expression unreadable. I don't feel much anymore, Marta. Most of the time I'm completely numb. But for you, I make an exception. I hate you. I'm sorry you feel that way, Glory. For my part, I still love you. The razors flick out of Glory's fingertips. Her lip curls into a snarl. Another lie. The last one you'll ever tell. I don't think she's lying, or at least she doesn't think so. She believes what she's saying. That's because it's true. I'll prove it to you. The words come stammering out of her. Her eyes are fixed on Glory's razors. Ask me anything you want. I'll show you that I'm telling the truth. I never wanted anything bad to happen to you, Glory. Not ever. She wheels to face you. Why are you listening to her? She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's her whole purpose here, remember? She's bait. Why should we listen to anything she has to say? Knowing how the shrine is affecting her mind might help us. She fumes you, but only for a moment. You might be right. Marta looks from you to Glory, a confused expression on her face. Her voice goes quiet. There's nothing wrong with my mind, Glory. I don't even understand what you two are talking about. No, of course you don't. She fidgets in agitation. I understand your interest in learning more about this, Kira, but we're wasting time and we need that key. If Harrow gets back here before we've dealt with that shrine, we're fucked. Um... Again, why don't I have street etiquette? I want to know everything we can. You need to hear what she has to say. No, I don't think so. Her frown turns into a snarl. What'll gnaw at me is knowing that this bitch is still alive, still hurting innocent kids, still too blind to see Harrow for what he really is. As you watch, the hope dies from Marta's eyes. All that you can read in her expression is pain. She swallows hard and exhales. Opens her mouth to speak, then what strange whispering noise fills the back of your skull again, and the muscles of her face relax. All right, Gloria, I didn't want this, but you win. Her hands begin to glow. Let me show you what our husband has taught me since you disappeared. Oh. Well, on that note, oh god, the kids have health. Oh geez. Okay. On that note, we're going to call it here and come back next time and hopefully not have collateral damage. So that's exciting. I will come back then, and so thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!